Good evening, Alison Lara. Welcome to today's class. Let's give your classmates a minute so that they can connect. But for the moment, welcome. Let me write you down on my assistant list, okay? Alison Lara. Welcome, Mariana Lopez. Welcome to today's class. Let me write your name down on my assistants list. Mariana Lopez. Oscar, welcome.
Thank you. Good night.
Good evening. Let's give another minute so that your classmates can connect. Dolly Claros, welcome to today's class. We are given a few seconds so that your classmates can connect. For the moment, welcome. We are still waiting for the other classmates. Thank you for being present. Okay, guys, I think that we can begin our class. Today we are going to take a look at pronunciation aspects, speaking ability, speaking skill in our last module, which is Module C. Remember that after this level, this section, this last module, we are going to be facing exams, tests about everything that you've learned throughout this learning journey. Now, for today, you guys, students, are going to be active. You guys are going to be reading. You guys are going to be responding and thinking about a possible answer, a possible correct answer for today's topic. Let me wait a minute. Okay, show pan, there we go. Now let me zoom in so that you guys can have a clear reading. There it is. Maybe I need to hide this. Okay. So for today, we have pronunciation performance in which you guys are going to learn the short form of saying should have, could have, and would have. Okay, this is a very important aspect in speaking, and according to our Pearson activity section, we ought to master these pronunciations. So I will be calling you to read, to participate. Remember, today you guys are going to be active, okay? So that you can ask questions along the reading, along the introduction. After the introduction, which is going to be maybe the first 20 to 30 minutes of the class, that's the explanation. After that, I will activate about 5 activities, which will be easy if you pay attention to the introduction. So that's what we are going to be working on for today. Speaking skill, pronunciation, and short ways of saying the modal verb with the auxiliary verb, okay? So let's welcome Andres Garcia is present, okay? Welcome, Andres. You are on time. To begin the introduction, as I told your classmates, today students are going to be active. You guys are going to be reading and making the mistakes so that you can correct yourself, okay? So we are going to talk about should have, would have, could have, okay? And according to Pearson, we are also having linking words in pronunciation, okay? For example, could you, we are going to learn that in speaking, people say, speaking English, people say, coulda, woulda, okay? So that's the goal for today, to understand and to familiarize with the short form pronunciation of should, could, and would with have. So to begin with, okay? Let's listen to our coach, our teacher, or the grammatical formulas for should, could, would, and reshare my screen. There it is. So let's begin. Pronunciation should, could, would have. Listen to the explanation and examples. Click on the light bulb icon for more information. Now let's listen to the grammatical formulas. Well, in this case, more than grammatical, it's pronunciation, okay?
When we use the auxiliary have after a modal, we pronounce the two words together. The word have loses its h sound and is linked to the modal before it, should've. When we use these phrases in the negative, we reduce both not and have. Shouldn't've. Listen to these lines based on the dialogue. Notice the reduced phrases shown in blue and purple.
Okay, so what we just heard is that in the short form, and this is only when we are speaking, okay? So when you use auxiliary verbs and the modals and auxiliary verb, in speaking, you should use the short form, which is the one with the apostrophe, to sound not only better, but to sound competent, to sound natural with fluency, okay? So basically we are trying to learn how to pronounce should have, which is should have. That's what it meant in the previous example, that the H is no longer present. It doesn't sound, it doesn't exist. Should have. So now let's listen to the following examples, okay?
Do you think I should have worn a different outfit? Do you think I should have worn a different outfit?
Okay, so when speaking, we do not usually say should have worn. We said we should have worn, should have, okay? So this is very important because in the second half of the class, you guys are going to be practicing and recording your voice with this pronunciation. So it is crucial that we understand should have, would have, could have. Number 2.
I should have known better. I should have known better.
Number 3.
If I had been more careful, we would have had the evidence. If I had been more careful, we would have had the evidence.
Number 4.
It couldn't have been a class. It couldn't have been a class.
As you can listen, it's really fast, and this is how American people talk, okay? And something is missing, right? The H sound is no longer present, and in this case, we are talking about negative, couldn't. So if we were to write and read it, I would say it couldn't have been a class. That's when you are reading, okay? But when you're speaking, it should sound like this. It could have. So you use the couldn't and then the have sound without the H. So it's couldn't, okay? It couldn't be in a class. That's the natural way of speaking English, okay? So let's listen one more time to this specific example.
It couldn't have been a class. It couldn't have been a class.
Okay, next.
I shouldn't have trusted him. I shouldn't have trusted him. I shouldn't have trusted him.
Okay, so we are not saying shouldn't have trusted him. We are saying shouldn't. I shouldn't have trusted him. Okay, so it's quite important to understand this pronunciation. Okay, last one. Let's go with the last one.
If I had known, I wouldn't have gone along with him.
Okay, one more time.
If I had known, I wouldn't have gone along with them.
Okay, so there you have it. Wouldn't have, wouldn't. Okay, to begin with, I know that since it's strange or maybe difficult, my advice would be to go with the flow. Try not to make questions about why is this like this and things like that. Okay, I understand that this is part of our way of thinking, which is interlanguage. Interlanguage, for example, is the psychological process that we have in specific stages of our life. For example, kids, I would not tell kids the grammatical formula, only the phonetical and speaking manner. But you guys, since you guys are adults, you now process information in a different way. And because we know more, we tend to ask questions or maybe things that are easy, they turn out to be difficult because we have many questions. So I advise you that just go with the flow, listen and repeat, okay? And that's the only way, okay? I mean, we are already talking about why we do this, why we pronounce it like this instead of the written manner, okay? Now let's continue with the second explanation. Okay, let me share my screen, of course. Okay, so pronunciation, should, could, would, okay? So here we are going to have some activities. Here is where you become active. I will activate all of these activities after, well, in the second part of the class. For the moment, I want to explain, I want to work with you, and at the end, I will activate certain activities so that you can produce and have a product, so that you can practice, okay? So let me open this one, pronunciation. Let me share a new screen. This is it. All right. So here, okay, this is an activity in which you guys are going to be working on. But before I activate it, I would like to clear things out, okay? So here we have listen to the sentence, type the word you hear into the blanks. Shouldn't have, shouldn't, should have, shouldn't have, could have, couldn't have, would have, or wouldn't have, wouldn't, okay? So when I activate this activity, all you have to do is listen. You have to listen and then type what word is missing. Of course, we already know it's going to be, okay, a modal with an auxiliary. The auxiliary is going to be have, okay? So just pay attention to the modal. Should, could, would. So let me just listen to the first two so there won't be any questions. Number one.
Nick couldn't have guessed trouble was coming. Nick couldn't have guessed trouble was coming.
Okay, so I hear couldn't have, could and not. So here I would type could, okay? So this is the way you should put it, okay? Which is written right here. If you don't have, for example, the apostrophe on your Spanish keyboard, you just can, I guess you can copy and paste couldn't have. Okay, so let me try that so that you can see. Okay, so that's what I think I heard in the recording.
Nick couldn't have guessed trouble was coming.
Okay, so number 2, it's basically the same.
He shouldn't have talked to Dean. He shouldn't have talked to Dean.
I heard a negative, I heard a should, so this is the correct answer. So I copy and paste if you do not have the apostrophe activation. So now let me see if I was correct. We have number 1, which is correct, and number 2, I am also correct. So I will activate that activity. So that's the first activity. Let me close it. Now let me continue explaining about the following grammatical, okay? I believe we also have an activity in which you guys are going to record your voice. Let me open this one. Let me reshare. Okay, so in this specific activity, you have to listen to the model, then record your voice. Pay attention to the reduced phrases with have. Compare your recording to the model. Maybe listen and repeat. You need to start over. If you need to start over, press record again. So I will activate this activity in about 10 minutes. So that way you can listen and repeat so that you can practice the short form of should, would, could.
I shouldn't have trusted Dean. I shouldn't have trusted Dean.
Okay, now let me close this one. We also have, we are also going to be looking at linking words, okay? What are linking words? Well, in pronunciation, they are basically the same, but we are talking about different linguistic elements, different words, okay? Instead of saying did you, we can say dicha, or in negative, why didn't you, etc., etc. Okay, so that's the only thing that we are working on. So for now, you guys are going to be reading. I need you to help me, so I will call you by your name. Let's start with Alison Lara. Can you read the first explanation?
In conversation with something linked two consonant sounds together to make a new sound. When one word ends in the sound D or T and the next word begins with the sound G, we often blend the D or T with the G to make the sound Z,
Dicha, dicha,
adita, and as
ch,
in
ch,
did you, did ya, or cha, as in don't you, don't ya.
doncha.
Note- Notice that the second word is often you or your and is usually unstressed.
Okay, thank you very much, Alison Lara. So what we just read, perhaps I could play the sound, the music sound song, the Pussycat Dolls. There's a song, don't you wish your boyfriend was blah, 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 don't ya, don't ya. That's the sound that we should make when we are speaking, don't ya, instead of don't you. That's basically it, all right, kids? Now, let's continue. Thank you very much, Lara. Now, let's listen to what is being said with examples.
Why did you decide to tell the truth now? Why did you decide to tell the truth now? Why did you decide to tell the truth now?
Where would you like to do the interview? Where would you like to do the interview?
What if I called your coach? What if I called your coach? What if I called your coach?
So according to what we heard, number one would be dicha, dicha. Number two, woulda, woulda. Number three, we do not have you, we have this one, your. So it would be yeah, yeah. Okay, it's kind of difficult, but remember in language, we try to use context. Context is very important. Let's listen to it.
What if I called your coach?
Yeah, yeah, but the R is still not there, right? One more time.
What if I called your coach?
Culture, culture, culture,
What if I called your coach?
culture, culture, okay?
What if I called your coach?
What if I called your coach? What if I called your coach? Remember, in your activities for today, you're going to be identifying if the given sound is with you or your. So now let's listen one more time to you and your.
Where would you like to do the interview?
Now let's go with your, with the R.
What if I called your coach?
Okay, remember context, context. Remember that if we are using the you, we are looking for a verb afterwards. And if we are looking for the possessive, we are looking for a noun. What is it that we are talking about? Your car, your wife, your mom, your homework, etc. So this is basically explanation of these pronunciations. And so now let's go with the negative. Dincha, dincha, didn't you get my message? Dincha, didn't you get my message?
Didn't you get my message? Didn't you get my message? Didn't you get my message?
Dincha. Next.
Kick shoes. Cute name, don't you think?
Doncha, doncha. Last one.
I got your phone number from Amy.
I got your phone.
I got your phone number from Amy.
Okay. We also have, thinking about this pronunciation, we can also have questions with the verb to be. For example, I can ask you, Oscar, for example, I can ask you the following with the verb to be. Instead of saying, were you hungry last night? I can say, weren't you hungry last night? Okay, so we can apply this with different verbs, okay? So it's quite important. So there we had another explanation of linking words, okay? Let me close and open. Okay, so now we have, so this is what I'm talking about, in which you are going to record yourself. So be careful. Okay, here you would need to record yourself to sound similar to what is being asked. Let's listen.
He would have been angry.
So we are not asking you to read it as it is written. We want you to read it with an apostrophe, with a short form, because that's when you're speaking. Okay, one more time.
He would have been angry.
Would have.
He would have been angry.
He would have been, okay? And number two, since it's a negative, I think it's important to go over it.
But I wouldn't have gotten in trouble. But I wouldn't have gotten in trouble. But I wouldn't have gotten in trouble. But I wouldn't have gotten in trouble.
Bata, okay, remember that we can also link these two words, bata, but I wouldn't have, but I wouldn't have gotten in trouble. So now it sounds like a trabalenguas in Spanish, okay, but with practice, we can master these linking pronunciation words. One more time.
But I wouldn't have gotten in trouble.
But I wouldn't have in trouble. But I wouldn't have gotten in trouble. But I wouldn't have gotten in trouble. Okay, so that's what you should record yourself here. Okay, once I activate this activity. That's why I'm going to be giving you the last 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, now let me close this one. Okay, guys, I'm just trying to explain what we must cover for today. All right, so now let's continue with linking words, which is the same, but with other words, other verbs. Now let me reshare my screen. Okay. So here, let me ask, let's see, Oscar, Mariana, Dolis, Andres Garcia, Alison. Okay, let me ask you, Dolly, if you could please read the explanation, please.
Listen to model, then record your voice. Pay attention to the change in sound when you link words ending in the sound D or T to the word you or your. Compare your recording to the model. If you need to start over, press recording again. If this activity was not assigned by your teacher, it will not be graded. You can still do this activity for practice.
Thank you very much. Now, what we're trying to do here is the y sound with the previous word. For example, on number one is I got you. That's the normal, the way we read it. But once we speak it should sound like this. I got you into this mess. Let's listen.
I got you into this mess. I got you into this mess.
Okay, te metí en este problema. I gotcha. Okay, es la forma de hablar cuando pronunciamos estos dos elementos. Number two.
How could you say that?
How could you with the T sound. That's what it meant to change the y sound with the T. T. Okay, one more time.
How could you say that?
Okay, so that's what we are practicing today. Remember, I will activate for today and you should record yourself. Let me finish today's explanation with the last activity. Let me close it here. Okay. And let me go to the last pronunciation linking word, number 4. Here it is. Linking word number 4. So we basically have the same, but in this specific activity, remember, there's a little difference between you and your. So let's listen to number 1.
How did you find me?
How did you? And remember, there's a verb after the you sound. So we know by context, we are talking about the personal pronoun you, not your. because if it were to be your, we would have a noun afterwards, okay? So once you start understanding linguistics, okay, the grammatical formula, things will get easier. Number 2.
I got your phone number from Amy. I got your phone number from Amy.
Okay, so we are sure that we are talking about your sound because we have an object, we have a noun afterwards. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to let you guys know as a tip. Okay, so all you have to do here is record yourself. Now let me change. Okay. So here you're going to witness how I will activate what I explain and the activities that you should do for the moment, which are about 5 activities pronouncing the linking words. And I believe here we are missing one from yesterday or the week before. I believe it's, okay, it's downwards. No, that would be it for today, okay? So we have all of these activities which are going to be activated, and I would like you to work on them in class so that if you have any questions or any technical problems, you can ask me, okay? So today we covered should, could, and would in the short form so that we could say should have, would have, could have, and we also learned about the you and the your pronunciation. If you have any questions, let me know right now so that I can clear things out. If not, let us continue with the activities. So I will activate as of now all of you. Okay. So what is when is the due date? Let's make it till, okay, I will give you to tomorrow since I have time at the end of the month to upload the grades. So I will give you to tomorrow, Saturday, okay, midnight. Next. Okay, so activity attempts unlimited. Here we have a test attempt. We don't, a test attempt, we do not have a test right now, so that should not apply. So students can see answers after how many attempts? Let's make it 4. Okay, feedback, grade capitalization. Capitalization is basically when you write, but remember I showed you that you can copy and paste. That way you should not have the, should not be writing the entire answer over and over. So let me put this into off. I do not care about capitalizations and grade punctuation. No, because we are concentrating on pronunciation, okay? There is no time, okay? Once you start doing your activities, there is no time limit. Show the model answer, no. Okay, and the maximum score is 10. So let me assign this. Okay, so before you go, I will launch the poll, la encuesta. Antes de que se vayan, ya tienen las actividades. You have the activities. And for next week, la semana que viene, we are basically finished with unit number 2, which is Jackie's big scene. The only thing that we have to do is the written part. something that you're going to write, which is a short paragraph, and of course the quizzes. So on Monday, we are going to work on reading and the quizzes. For the moment, please start doing your activities. I will launch the encuesta, the polling right now, and that would be it for me. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time today. Remember, if you have questions, let me know. Okay, thank you for answering. Gracias por contestar. Continue working. I found the activity that I was looking for. This activity is really short. It's just practicing, continue practicing the present unreal conditional, okay? So you already learn about that. You've already practiced on it. So let me activate so that you can have a positive and better grade on your Pearson platform. Okay, so this is the another activity that I was looking for. Great job, Oscar. You told me on inbox that you are finished. Congratulations. I would like to tell you to have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend, stress-free. I'll see you on Monday. Remember that on Monday we have a reading activity and the quiz. So that's all we are working on Monday. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all of you. As you can see, all of you have finished 95% of the activities. Thank you very much. I'll see you on Monday. Okay, we still have 6 more minutes, but if you're finished, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Good night. It's Friday. Stress-free, all right? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Good night.
Good night. Mariana Lopez, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Stress-free. Enjoy it. See you on Monday, okay?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Okay, guys, the class has finished. Most of you are finished with today's activity. Congratulations. Today's activities. Congratulations. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Remember that we will have a reading activity and the quizzes. Thank you very much. Today was perfect. Stay safe, stress-free. It's Friday. See you, Andres. See you, Dolly Claros. See you on Monday. Thank you.
Bye, see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, mister. See you.
See you, Andres.